Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So working on an F-150, and if you can't get the spare out and you're trying to figure out how you get that spare out, let me show you real quick. Okay guys, so I just got to this call and another provider came out, a company called Black Sheep out here in Lakeland, and we get a lot of complaints about that company. But they came out here and they tried to change the tire, but the customer didn't have the factory lowering tools. They bought the vehicle used, so typically they're in the back behind the back seat right here on this truck here. You would open it up, and back here you'd lean the seat forward and they're back there. But the customer pulled all this out and they already looked back there and they didn't have that. Also, they looked in the floorboard on the other side where they're typically at and they didn't have it either. So Black Sheep Towing shows up and they don't have the tools to lower it either, so they can't change the tire. Customers here at the parts store, but the parts store doesn't sell the part, or the tool rather, that lowers the spare. So I wanted to show you guys what you need to lower the spare. Okay, so I carry this with me. I have for many years now doing this job. It's typically like a universal tool for most pickup trucks, whether it be Chevy, Dodge, or Ford. But what you're looking for is a couple of metal rods like this, and then it's going to have this big square end at the end of it here. Get this camera to focus. So you're going to have this big square end right here. Sometimes it'll use the smaller square end, this side over here. Come on, camera. Sometimes it'll use the smaller square end, this side over here. Different year, makes, and models will vary. So if it doesn't fit one side, try the other. And then you're going to need a lug wrench that fits in there, or a pair of pliers or something like that that'll fit. Then in the back of your truck here, to the right of the tag, you're going to see this little key cylinder. You know, boom, it sits like that, and this little plastic flap opens up. Stick your key in there, turn it to the right, and then pull straight out, and that's gonna come out. And then you can see into the tunnel there, and you're gonna take this tire lowering tool, which you can not get at the parts store, like I said, but feed it in there. Gotta try to find that tunnel. Okay, so inside there is this little thing, right? And that is what your tool has to line up with. The camera will focus. All right, so sometimes I got a little plastic tunnel that leads in there. Sometimes it's just kind of like that. But that's what you got to get to lower the spare. It's on like a mechanical winch. So take this and feed it in, and you should feel it kind of lock into place. And then take a pair of pliers, or if you're lucky enough to have this lug wrench, you could just take that, put it on the end of the square there, and get this one to lock in. There we go. And just crank it counterclockwise, crank it down. Like so, and you'll see it start coming down. Now, a lot of times guys don't know how that lowers down, so they crawl underneath the vehicle, right? And they're under here and they're trying to wrestle this thing and get this thing out, right? You'll see them on the side of the interstate under the back of the truck, and they're grabbing all on that, trying to pry it out or cut it or something. That's not going to get cut out. You're not going to have any room to cut that out, so don't even try that. All right, crank it down, lefty loosey, and you want to crank it all the way down until you can't crank it anymore. Don't stop when it hits the ground, because if you stop when it hits the ground, you won't have the slack that you need to pull the wheel out. So you want to keep cranking it until the cable stops. This is like the hardest part of changing a tire on one of these things, is getting the spare out. Hurts the hell out of your back bending over like this. But just keep on cranking. Crank, crank, crank till it won't crank no more. Alright, and then you'll have enough slack to pull the tire out. Alright, see, just grab it like so. Pull it out. You can even stand her up, lean her against the back bumper there. Okay, so now take this little thing here that holds it up. That's what holds the wheel underneath the vehicle, is this like little bow tie clasp thing or whatever. Take that, feed that through, and now your wheel is free and out. All right, so now let's take a look at what we got here. This is our mechanical winch here. This is what it looks like, in case you guys need to look at it. And there's the little tunnel and the tool coming in and all that, in case you need a visual on that. And then we'll go ahead and crank this back up now. There you go. All right, guys, always remember to set your emergency brake. So here, pull the parking brake button there, and you'll see on the dash the parking brake light comes up. Okay, the customer doesn't have their factory jack, so I'm going to be using this floor jack, and I'm just going to put it right underneath the leaf spring perch right there on that bolt. You can also put it on the rear end pumpkin right there if you'd like. Now, if you're using the factory jack, I believe you'd want to put the factory jack right underneath that shock perch right there, that thing, or underneath this rear end right here on the housing of the rear end. You could set it right there. Now, if your flat happens to be on the front, you would come up here to the front, and on the frame right here, they've got an arrow. See that arrow that's cut out? That points to where they want you to put the jack. So put your factory jack or your floor jack on the frame in the front. Okay, so customer doesn't have the factory lug wrench, but I'm going to tell you from experience, those things don't really work very well either. The problem is the lug nuts are not a real size. They have a decorative cap on them, which kind of makes them like a thousandths too big. So in my experience, if you use a 21 millimeter thin-walled socket, I really shouldn't have this 13-point socket, but I think I left my other one at home. So we're going to use this one for now, and as long as the lug nuts haven't been messed up before, then this will go on and off really good. Now, if if you use the factory lug wrench, it'll probably mess that up, and if you use any other size besides a 21, it'll probably mess it up. So that's what we're gonna do. I didn't really get a chance to show you how to take this off properly, but I can show you how to put it back on properly. So a lot of people will struggle putting these things back on, right? If you look at it, it has a ridge on the top of it. See that ridge? It only has that on one side, and it only has a ridge, a little pop out on one side, kind of like a mohawk, if you will. So this thing's only gonna go in one way, right? Just like that. And then you'll turn it, and it'll lock itself into place, and you can remove your key. So if you try to put this thing in, you know, opposite, you'll sit there and struggle and fight with it forever, and it won't go in. But if you just put it in the right way, with that ridge going the correct way, it'll go right in, it'll lock, and you'll be good. Okay, so as you can see, I got the wheel jacked up. We got plenty of clearance. We'll go ahead and start taking these lug nuts off. Now you can take them off in any pattern that you'd like. It doesn't have a specific pattern to take them off. So just take them off and you'll be good. Okay guys, always set your wheel with the face up. If you set it the other way down, you scratch the hell out of the rim. Nobody's gonna like that. So make sure you always set the rim like that while you're changing it out. We'll grab our spare and get it up on there. Okay, so with the spare, you see it has these holes here. Those are gonna go right on these lug studs right here. So they'll just fit right on. So you're just gonna roll it in there and then lift it up and set it right on those studs. Okay, and then put all your lug nuts on by hand, righty-tighty. It should go on nice and easy like that. If they're not screwing on easily, then that means you're probably cross-threading them or something, so unscrew it and check the thread on the nut or the stud and then retry it. But it should go on nice and easy like this, especially on a newer vehicle like this. Older vehicles, yeah, they can move slow when you're screwing them on, but these newer ones, they usually screw on easy. All right. Okay, so not having the factory tool, I'm going to use this Milwaukee 18-volt impact. It does have different settings on it. Put it on setting number 2. We'll make sure it does not over torque your lug nuts. So there we go. Okay, so you got the tire on, but the spare is kind of flat, right? So what do? We'll pump this one up to 45 PSI. It only has 15 in it at the moment. I use this Milwaukee air inflator. All right, guys, we got another customer back on the road. I hope this video helped you out. It was just a quick little video, kind of show you how to get the spare tire down. I kind of added a tire change video-ish thing in there. It wasn't like the best tire change video. This video was really about just lowering the spare, not changing the tire. But I added everything else in there just in case somebody was trying to change the tire themselves and they needed some pointers. So I hope the video helped you out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop me a comment. Yeah, I know not having those tools is a real ball buster. You know, you can't go to your local parts store and get it. You really got to kind of order them online off of Amazon or eBay or something like that. I tried going to junkyards and finding them. Typically they're always gone. You know, somebody's already pulled them out at the junkyard. So anyway, that is how to change a tire on your old F-150. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye guys.